Crashes. Funkado. Victor. Less. Finesse. Sardark. Marved. Saucy. Yay. Bars. Checked. BTK.
Well, both of these teams are no strangers to an upper bracket. A final, but the stakes have never...
They've had is 7 rounds, so it's going to be really difficult to play up against that. And even their attacking side, you have players like Ye who are going to basically try and deny any aggression from Loud, which is mostly going to be their plan on this defensive side.
Right away, Optic are looking for a bit of control inside of Bath. They've already put in a flash, seen nothing there. Loud definitely stacking up on this A side, looking to push through on the back of the flash, the nade to push them out of position, but they get nothing for their troubles. They'll reset completely, not wanting to overextend. And the rotations have come through. I mean, the danger here is that Les is all alone on B.
It almost looks like they're playing for delay and playing for the retake, just hoping that this push comes in through towards that A site. Orb going to be collected early, but they're already finding out so much information. I wonder if they'll have to switch things up. And actually, Funkado, he's going to get the opener.
I mean, just too many bodies here. And look at the swing from Sadik. It's not expected. Optic running into a heavier site than they were ready for. And Marv is going to have to do something. The spike is in the open in front of him, trying to retrieve it as his teammates rush into the site and actually carve out a decent bit of map control. Good trades again from Crashies. And that man who was alone on B is now alone on the server.
Yeah, they started off so strong with the openers they got, but the trades back from Optic leave this down to Les. A long rotation all the way back, of course, the trap offline, so he can at least bypass that piece of utility, no problems. The thing is, though, the setup is so passive, and you can see just Crashy starting to get a little bit intrigued as to whether or not he's going to come from that CT spot. For now, though, he's going to see absolutely no one.
Got his orb back as he moves towards the site. Low HP on Crashies, but that might not help. Still with a flash to play with. Marv just coming to swing on through, and Crashies is a little awkward at first, but he closes it out with his triple. Optic have taken the pistol.
A fantastic resurgence from them. Like, just seeing the re-aggression of players like Marv being able to get them back into the round, but Crashies mainly 3 kills from him, even low on HP for a couple of them, and honestly, that's a pistol that probably should have gone the way of Loud. It was a push into the stack with 2 openers going the way of the Brazilian side, and, well, this man ends up turning it back.
You have that poison orb there right from the start for Les as well, so even when there's 4 players on the A site, there's effectively 5 in the utility you have available to you. What a fantastic result for Optic taking the pistol. Now we see if Loud have any special plans for this round. Of course, they're coming in with pistols. Aspis, interestingly, has got the Stinger, and that's not a buy that I think I've ever seen for this kind of round.
No, the Stinger, no shields. I don't know how he's going to make this one work. Of course, on the other side of things, they have themselves full shields on every player, so it's not even like he can sort of get away with, okay, the 2-shot kill like you would on the other side. So I don't know if that was a misfire or if just a specific plan that he has in mind to try and do some damage.
It's definitely a curious one. And look at the pressure they're putting on B main now as Optics. They're coming over to Hookah, they flashed in, they put through their boombot, they see no one there, the flash reveals no one. Starting to look pretty convincingly like it's clear. They'll even commit a little bit of extra utility to it. The problem is, from Loud's perspective, they have already read that this is a fake. Whether Optic commit to A now or not
look at Crashies.
Up for question.
That's the thing. I feel like he's getting far enough that they may just opt to switch things back, and you can see the spike starting to go in that direction as well. This fake is being sold, and eventually the players are just going to run straight back through the TP. Good fake out from Optic, because running back in towards those latter stages still had its risks about it, but the fact that they managed to just sell a little bit of a fake, all the players are going to stick around. The only danger is actually Marv. He could lose his gun.
Yeah, they know this. That's why they made the push they did, so quickly reacting around middle. He's only got 20 HP. A right click, enough to take him down.
Okay.
The Stinger is the one to find the frag, but Marv has made up for it. They'll go looking for this Bulldog. This is a valuable weapon, and you don't want Aspas to have it. With it removed, this round, I think, altogether can be looked at as a success.
Oh, a massive one. Especially the ult you want to be charging up is going to be that orbital strike. So Marv is now only one away. There's so many aspects of this map where that can be just incredibly valuable for them. So that's a worry. I wouldn't be surprised to see Optic challenge the orb early in this round.
That's actually so sad. 42% of Loud's international matches against Optic, and you know, it's Optic that beat them every single time. That's why they haven't had a chance to play even more international games, because Optic keep on knocking them out. They won it way back, and ever since then it's just been a dominant North American result time and time again. Round number 3, Optic have got one rifle bought up on Marv. Everyone else has kept their weapons from the previous.
He's already got the orb.
That's the thing.
And this gives them so many opportunities in terms of executes. Now, you can already witness the fact that Loud have started to move players out of lamps. Just basically making that, that's one of the most obvious spots for them to try and clear. The other is normally the back of the B site, which seems to be the more direct call at the moment, because you can sort of section everything else off with utility, clear some of the close cubby corners, but that back site is always a difficult place to fight from. If they can clear that for free, it becomes incredibly easy for Optic to take this site.
I think Sassy might have tried to bait out the ult as well by putting that Prowler from so far back. You're not really going to get much information from that unless they decide to shoot it. But maybe they think you're in there and then come after you. Surviving on the back side. Decent holdout from Les. All his shields stripped and his health very low at this point. And he's got no support. With his teammates smoked out, he's just going to concede the site. This is the right call.
Yeah, they managed to hold on to Hookah though. Sanak has almost managed to do that alone, aggressively pushing towards Marv just to make sure that he can't really use that ultimate or even try and bait him into using it. It also gives them a much freer rotation, although that flash hasn't gone to plan.
Not exactly, no. A little bump in the road. Plan secured for Optic, able to play post-plant. Orbital strike online, but well, the numbers are thinning out. There's the orbital strike used. They're not quite able to damage the players on the way back out. Resetting into duels. It's Pancada, Aspas, Sassy. They've got the numbers to take this, but in dangerous positions. The dropout handled by Aspas. A double for him, the nade catching the first. And the rifle for the second. They will end up in a very good position, especially with post-plant orbital strike.
Yeah.
This round was looking a lot more scary than it ended up being.
But that's the thing. I feel like you could look at the scoreboard right now and you might be thinking, okay, Sadak not having the greatest of games, but in all honesty, the space he managed to take basically won them that round. Like, he pushes onto the brim to make sure that he can't have that position he wants for the orbital strike to try and clear the site or for after plant. He then holds onto it as well, forcing them to go all the way back around and fight through one avenue. And even on the way back through, even though he goes down, he makes sure that his teammates are still safe within that angle, not being pressured from anywhere else. So great work from him. Of course, there is still going to be a purchase. And you can see Marv may only have a pistol, but that's because Ye's got an operator.
That's the thing, right? And obviously he bought up the rifle previous round. They tried to bolster their buy that little bit extra. You'll take those, and you'll certainly take those. The operator for Ye dropping Pancada off the rip, and well, Marv has got a weapon should he wish to take it. Although I think the focus is a little bit more on taking the site. You've got those Seekers available, and, well, if they pop them, they'll find only Sassy here.
That's the thing. It will be so much valuable information. I think they're looking to try and get that little bit closer first on towards long, and the adaptation from Loud is just to have deeper control.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The problem is, there goes that info. Just one going in that direction, clearing out the back of the site for free, and actually Sassy, he's going to get one through the edge of the smoke. This lurk play could be huge from FNS, but he goes down as well.
A perfect honk through, a good kill, and now Loud. Oh, they've got themselves another potential retake. Same position they found value in before.
What?
He tanks though. Oh, that's insane. The boom bot does damage, but not enough to kill. Les is alone, and even with a beautiful dropout, Ye has found value in a position that he was dead to rights.
That's the thing. I don't know how this man gets so much value with that headhunter. Like, him and Ardis just seem to have this ability to just destroy players even after that operator doesn't become any more valuable. And he basically just waits for that boombot to connect onto him, and Sadak goes down as well. Again, we see the value of this superstar chamber. And unfortunately, on the other side of things, Loud, okay, they've got a couple of ults to play with. Maybe they can try and do something with the Viper's Pit, but the buy sucks.
You want to play?
I never, ever thought that was going to go his way. He was at 15 HP, and there must have been, he was like Neo in the Matrix. Bullets whizzing past him, but calm, cool, collected. Really push up inside of Showers. Now, they're going to try to take the space, but Aspis has declined because he pushed around the smoke. I think he wanted to exec out of it. They could have put... I mean, they don't have flashes over here, right? Maybe a Sky flash through the TP, something like that. But they have completely canceled any sort of aggressive plays. And again, we see this Prowler going out on mid from very far back. It almost makes me think they're clearing that the player hasn't crept up close. So that just shows you how much control Loud have given up for that early fight that got them nothing.
Well, yeah, it's something that Finesse loves to do is just those slow lurks through mid. And with the aggression on the other side, just trying to get a little bit of information off the back of those initiators. That's gone very poorly for Les. They know exactly where he is, and sure, he's going to do a little bit of damage as they make their way through, but this is looking calm and collected so far for Optic, and there's nobody even within the site anymore.
I do like the idea as well for Ye using his ultimate in this round. Nobody can pick up a weapon if they kill him, so you can see him playing a much more heavy lurk role.
They also lost the ult. They didn't manage to save it last round, so it's just almost a freebie.
Yeah, but of course he could go for a rifle, something like that, and save that ult for a more important round where your opponents have better weapons. But I like the call, really minimizing how much they can pick up, and now he can recover the weapon from his teammate Finesse, probably not wanting to carry the stinger he had picked up through. And 4-1, this is looking as dominant as I think we expected. This map is a specialty for Optic, and with the pistol under their belt, you have to expect this early lead to go their way.
Yeah, they've beaten easily some of the best teams in the world at this map. PaperX, FPX, we saw them beat Liquid earlier, Boom early in the tournament as well, Xset. Like, they have proven themselves as top two. I'll say that just for boast.
There you go.
He is in the room. We got Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Tom Holland in the audience, of course. Very big Valorant fans.
As we know. So, all these ultimates online for Loud, one away on Sassy, everyone else has theirs. Viper's Pit. Now, when you look at Optic, I'm really curious to see how they deal with this pit. They've got a ton of utility that could grab them the information, but it looks like they don't want to challenge inside of it. No surprise there. Instead, they're going through the only other angle on this site, a choke point that is now being held
Sadak
constantly.
Needs to do well here. He has to. Now, the Tiger's going to give him the information. If they break this and just look to try and pressure him, it could become quite awkward, but instead, they do have the orb to try and slow them down, making sure any of these close angles, and look at the rotation, because they've taken deep hookah control straight away. They're looking to stack this A site up with 4 players. The problem is, Optic, after showing so much info on that side of the map, are now making a move all the way around. And
a good job, too. You just saw the Seize nade land. It would have been at their feet had it have come in 10, 15 seconds earlier.
Loud
but Optic
got the read.
Shifting it over. They're adapting to the information that they've read, and now Loud are doing exactly the same. At the pace of this round for both teams, they're trying to figure out where the other one is at. But with Loud having this control, it's Pancada. He has his ultimate to play with. If he keeps hookah, this site will be very difficult for Optic to get into, and he's already shut down Marv. That's the control, theirs, and even a showstopper through. I mean, this looks like a death sentence for Optic. 15 seconds, 3 players on the site, and absolutely no way in.
10 seconds left.
Might just be worth holding on to the guns, and well, Les isn't going to allow that for Finesse at least. On the other side of things, Loud want to try and keep this as a boost to their economy, so probably not going to hunt down too much, knowing that there's a high likelihood that no matter what happens, Optic are going to be able to buy. But I am liking the sort of re-aggression and rotations we're starting to see from Loud. It hasn't worked in every single round because I feel like it is almost that battle of the brains, the IGL sort of try and pick their route back through, but this time they get it correct. And I actually want to see Optic challenge a little bit more for that hookah control, because I think that's where the crux of the matter is you've had now in one round Sadak deep within that control, being able to help them as they try and push into the site, and then in this round the exact same thing from Pancada again.
Or you'll see from some teams like playing inside of hookah, And then when they fall out, it's difficulty to get that player out of position. But you've had the retake wall in that previous round as well on B site from Vipers. So you're playing inside of Hookah, you get your fight, you fall back, and now the wall's up. So even the guys on long can't cover you crossing over. They've got to push through a Viper wall, and it just adds so much more pressure to Optic. That stopping power of a man and a Viper wall worked perfectly in, well, a showstopper as well. I mean, you can't really downplay that one, but we end up at 4-2. Loud, decently bought. Optic, though, they've drained the entire ult economy out of Loud in that previous round. They only have the orbital strike to work with now, and with a showstopper of their own to try an entry, Hookah seems like a great place to have some control of. Again, it is only the one man that's leaning towards there, though, being Marved. He didn't do too well on the—
Oh, what? Okay, Pancada. Just a little bit of spam, predicting that they'd taken log control, and well, I don't think you're going to get many kills like that throughout the match. They've also found out that Ye is on this side as well. And there is no commitment to the rest of the map for Optic, so I feel like they're almost stuck in a spot where either they take a huge risk and try and run back towards the A site, or they continue to commit, and they're going to try and go back and clear everything along the way.
Trailblazer just came through, though, and it didn't actually spot many players. If anything, I think it saw them and heard them running away. They're going to try to retake that control, and they've gotten one, but they have to account for the player up close. That Trailblazer was fired out by somebody. Sadik is still around the area. He's making his way through Hookah. With 10 seconds left, if they can get an angle to stop it, it could be everything. And now they own Hookah, a foothold to get back in, and holding over control of Elbow. This is difficult now. Optic are split completely. FNS, I mean, he's alone. Victor's just been wall banged to death. A snake bite making it so much easier, and Finesse has to do it all time. Not really on his side with 3 players to take down, and Pancada has just had another fantastic round. This guy's been on fire so far.
Yeah, he's having a great tournament in general. Like, we've seen that throughout, where I think he's been like trading places for top 1, top 2 controllers. I think a few rougher games as well in there for Marved, but definitely towards the latter stages of the tournament, he's been great. But again, like it seemed like it was just going swimmingly, but just this reset coming out from Optic, falling all the way back and then going back into the site. The execution was great, but Pancada just able to hold on to some of the most critical angles as they look for that retake through Hookah, and it just works out wonderfully for them.
I mean, it really is getting to the point, though, where Optic have got to be realizing that Hookah control, they've found it so hard to gain control of it, and even in the previous, to hold control of it.
Yeah.
That part of the map seems to be Loud's, and well, the response from Optic isn't a heavier presence there, more aggression early round. Instead, they look again towards this A site, where Viper utility has constantly been a problem, but this time, Viper's on B, so maybe a slightly easier way back through.
Yeah, already though. Molotov gonna delay. It's gonna have to be the rotation back through mid, because they currently don't have control over the showers. Mainly because there's still smokes denying them that space. The defense almost just waiting around the outside, but they are going to be able to make their way through. The problem is there could be an easy spam to try and deny anything for this plant, and actually they're going to do it instead with the blast packs.
Oh, wow. A double for Optic, though. They punished completely. And with this sneaky position, even able to creep his way into heaven if he wanted. There is a constant doubt in the back of Loud's mind. They need to find a safe spot to fight from, and I simply put, there were none. They need a duel right here and now. Time is ticking away with weaker weapons on the side of Optic, but a pit to play inside of. Despite down inside of it, there's not a whole lot that you can see going their way. Control's already too much for Optic, and they close this one out beautifully, only leaving less. 1 versus 3, and the players remaining on Optic have upgraded. They're back up to 3 rifles. They've got time, they've got utility, still to pit up. It's done. Les is out of here, and a 5th has been found for Optic.
I'll be honest, I think Optic were almost expecting that this would be a round where, okay, let's see how far we can get. Maybe we use the Viper's Pit. Don't want to commit too much this round. I don't even think they full bought. They still had enough to buy into the next one.
Step by step.
It's just the fact that they got so much space in proactively. Maybe expecting to try and use it in afterplant scenarios, but in all honesty, once they have got into the afterplant, it looked pretty deadly.
Again, this Molly going over. We've seen different lineups coming through. One from short, this one right at the start of the round, catching anybody going back towards elbow. Optic are slow to move on the back of it, but a flash coming through, blinds them up, gets an orbit online. Crashies now has his ult, and the Seekers, well, they seem to be soon on their way. Marved has lost this duel almost every time, and now he's being spotted, tagged up, and taken down. Another fantastic hold of Hookah, but how goes the sight? Because Crashies is already on there, spike in hand towards the elbow. The smoke not fully blocking them out. There could be an opportunity here, especially with the nade online.
They're just going to have to try and play this one safe. Finesse in a decent position, but he's not going to find anything again. Hookah control just being the bane of their existence, and look how passively Les is holding. He's just playing this one nice and patient. This duel is going to be everything, and he's going to win it. It leaves Crashies alone. A man you'd want in these sort of scenarios, but can he pull off the 1v3?
He's been the clutch player in the past, but his HP already at half. 3 players, and it's the first to take him down. Les on the Viper, grabbing a 4th round here for Loud. And again, that Hookah control, it's always been something in this game that Loud have based the round off of. And we've seen that Trailblazer come through the TP a number of times. So far, though, I don't think it had any impact bar that round. It was like information that at times Optic even used against Loud in trying to sell false information. This time, though, it directly contributed to the kill.
I am surprised, because I guess it's because they've so easily been able to get into the B site without too many problems. But in every single retake, they have struggled with the fact that they haven't been able to hold on to that control. So I do wonder if eventually Finesse is just going to say enough is enough, and they're just going to try and blitz their way through. And there are a few players setting up in that direction early in this round.
Again, this utility comes through, wall up, orb up. Whether you send someone with it or not, it doesn't really matter. It's about taking the info out of their hands. Again, we lose a player over towards Hookah. They try to double up and take it together, but Aspas is holding strong. They know for sure that Marvs is here. It's going to have to get those Crocs into sport mode again if they're going back towards the A site. Finesse has got a lot of space for them, but now a kill on B, and it kind of goes up in the air. They have a ton of options on where they take it, and in fact, they might almost just slow it down. See if Finesse can find anything from this spot.
They have to be aware of the potential of him doing this. Like, they were trying to deny this in earlier rounds, and setting it just straight away, like, okay, let's just use C, because we'll find out where these players are going to be, and they've spotted that they're rotating through. Even having Les go back around just to make sure that they can't wrap through lamps, and just holding to make sure they have this crossfire. The only real danger is going to be Ye on the other side.
Seeger dove on Finesse. Caused a bit of a headache. Look at the push coming up from behind. Fantastic stuff from Ye. A great lurk. Space taken, and he's gone. He's down. The cover no longer there. They'll TP. They'll rotate, but Aspas has kept the control! Aspas alone wins this round for Loud. 4 kills. That is a round that Loud will be thrilled to have under their belt. Optic even calling a timeout off the back of it.
Yeah, as said, like in the games that we've seen from them in the last couple of events, they've been able to take 7 rounds as a minimum in the first half. It didn't matter whether they started on defense or attack. They've always looked incredible on this map, but Loud, they're rolling with the punches at the moment. And the thing is, they are adapting well. They are using that control they're able to get to take deeper positions. They're also using their ultimates incredibly well just to make sure they have that information. That's another round again. Have a good matchup here, as it was mentioned on the desk. He normally does. That could be the difference between them making it through to the final or having to fight through that lower bracket.
Let's play.
A fantastic face to Loud so far. Tied up at 5-5, the advantage still to be played for at halftime. Now Loud have stacked up on B long. This is control you said you wanted to see them take, and so far, as we said, they've held Hookah flawlessly every round. After an Optic timeout, though, they shift their play completely.
They sent Ye. That's how you know they're taking things seriously. They sent El Diablo to clear it out, and this time there's absolutely no one there. It's a complete role reversal. Maybe that's what Loud were actually expecting. Like, okay, we've had this control, they've had that control, let's try and switch it up. The only problem is it allows this tour de force to just run riot. If anybody peeks anywhere near this angle, they're in danger, and he's actually waiting to hold the rotations.
I think if you consider Hookah's being the danger place, you've got an orbital strike coming in here, you've got a timeout just called, like they're going to have an idea of how to take that back. Great adaptation from Loud, but now we've got to see how they handle not having this control. And for a second, I thought Static was about to jump up in there to check it, which I would have lost my mind. You got 2 info characters there. He dodged the flash. Oh, that could have been awkward if someone tried to swing with it. Luckily, they didn't. Oh, God. Victor's being destroyed. The showstopper online. It's, well, oh, wait. He's got 2. Not a chance he even got 1 there. I thought they're looking at him, but Finesse coming ahead. This is the round we needed to see from this guy. He's had a tough half so far, but we've equalized it up 3v3 spike planted, post plans to be played with Ye
screwed.
pressure
He's
from
screwed.
both sides. Another flash coming in, and Marv can't see a damn thing. But Finesse again, the third kill of the round. He's going absolutely nuclear. What is that round from Finesse? This man came into this half. I didn't even think he had his monitor on, and now he's pulling out that. Wow.
Yeah, like that's another. We've seen a couple of those already throughout this map where it's a 3v5 for Optic to try and turn around. Gets the double spray down. The flashes in utility that were coming out, we saw Ye stuck in a seize, flashed up, and then Finesse just saves his life with a crazy peek, and then even catches the player behind him as well.
He had 1 kill.
He did?
He had 1 kill. He just coming into round 11.
That was Daddy's round. That's all we got to say.
8 times 5 missed kills. Wow.
He's, well, Les has just managed to get
Oh, good night.
Viper's Pit. Oh, he's just about gonna make it out of there. He's getting healed up as well, and they're gonna use the Viper's Pit as cover. Crashy's hoping maybe he can find something off the back of it, and actually that flash sort of faked out a rotation. You can see Sassy now moving all the way back, and the timing could be wonderful for Optic.
Yeah, it's because they had to fall back to get that heal, right? You don't want to stand inside the pit and a stray bullet takes you down while you're healing your guys, so they go back to elbow. They have to use a Trailblazer to confirm nobody was pushing up on it, about to take the control, and that then leaves them in this spot where A is almost like a retake, but still holding on to that crucial position of Showers. The rotation this time a little more cautious, making sure there's no one around them, but that might even play out as the fake, or a disengage from an impending Doom duel. Instead, they reset, and with 45 seconds left on the clock, they need to make a decision on where to go, but they haven't really found a foothold anywhere.
Flash through. Crashy's knowing that they still have control in this direction, and Optic, they've tried to play with the rotations, but ultimately they failed. This fight could be everything, and Sassy just about able to deny it. Also Pancada getting a couple of kills and doing so well off the back of his ultimate. It leaves it all on to Crashy's. 20 seconds left. Chances looking impossible. The fact is he's got a rotation coming in from behind. He's going to get the TP timing almost perfect, though. That should at least allow him a plant, and maybe even the Seekers as well.
Yeah, he's got to be quick. If they got anywhere near this site, if a player had rotated 2 seconds earlier, it could be done. And indeed, it will be anyways. Loud tying it up at the halftime. This is a map that Optic are hailed as the kings of the world on, but Loud are challenging for that crown in the first half.
Well, they are incredible on that defensive side as well, so I don't think it's going to get any easier for the Brazil. No, forgive and forget, you know?
Oh,
forgive and forget.
That's very nice, Tom. Very nice of you. Optic have a 14-3 record coming in here. I mean, look, we've talked about it time and time again. We've mentioned the teams they've beaten, even at this tournament and in recent memory. Some of the best in the world. Absolutely. Moving in towards the B site quickly. Utility, look how much is coming their way. These players are stunned up and soon to be gunned up, but the Viper Wall, the TPs, have changed Loud's mind.
They're running all the way back. They basically have to. There's already 4 players on the other side, but the thing is, the 5th player they've left behind is the one you least want to run into. Ye, in an elevated angle, he gets to freebie onto the planter. It's not an angle you'd normally clear, but the fact is he's just delayed them so much. Even with a single kill, they've had to completely reset the plant, and the trades are going again in Optic's favor, or at least they were. Les has managed to turn it back! And what a couple of headshots out from him! A pistol for Loud, but I don't know if they should have won that.
I don't think they should have. What a fantastic setup from Optic. They've got their TP back. Ye delays, gets a kill, gets out for free. When he dies, he's traded ×2. And Les, he was just tapping away all round. Ending on 28 HP, had a teammate as well to back him up. That's a pistol for Loud, answering back to Optic's opening to the map. And that could give them the injection of rounds they need to get off to a flying start. Optic have not decided to go for a force buy. They're playing 5 classics. I suppose they're playing a headhunter on Ye, which with 4 bullets could get close. Luckily, the first doesn't land.
You know, he's only got 3 left.
You only kill half your team.
Yeah, exactly. It's not so worrying anymore. And actually, the entire team is rotating away from Ye, which I completely agree with as a sentiment. I think as though the delay that Crashies has been able to pull off actually allows the full team to rotate in towards this B site. They've left Ye behind to play solo. But if this isn't cleared properly, this could actually get pretty dangerous for Loud.
I'll say we don't have Aspas and Hookah, so he's not going to be like satcheling in, doing this crazy play, at least you'd imagine. Nade and Snakebite not landing for damage or kills, and they'll pump the brakes, but 50 seconds, stacked up classics, limited time to make a decision. This is a scary spot to be in. Look, classics on their own, you should be able to take them down, but when they have these crossfires, 4 players able to, 3 players able to swing at any time, that causes problems. The flash was good, the follow-up not there, with Sassy eliminating everyone on the B site. It's left in the hands of Ye.
Unfortunately, Marv was just a little too thick. That's all it really was. He had the extra C and he was spotted from behind. He's actually just headshot him through the wall. He's got no headhunter bullets left. It's fine. Thankfully, he used a few of them earlier, and that made it less dangerous. Only a single player lost. Now going to be retrieving the extra weaponry, and actually quite a heavy purchase into that previous round for Loud. So it's good that they don't lose anyone. Also, the fact that Les already has a Viper's Pit online, one of the most deadly ultimates you can have going into a bonus round, because that Spectre very quickly becomes very dangerous.
Viper's Pit, when you have the Stinger Inspectors as well. I mean, Les has gone for the Vandal, which, when we're talking about playing inside a pit, probably not the best weapon to have. Those Tracers can give you away. Optic's early plan, the flash down long confirms players here, destroy some utility, try to deny that free control they could be getting if these Prowlers went uncontested. But those smokes are coming down, and it looks like Loud are picking up the pace completely. They are rushing in, at least that's how it appeared. Losing out on any hookah control might change their mind a little bit.
I think also just the spam, just not allowing them to get through that choke point too quickly. Counter nade out. On the cross, actually, a shot connected by Pancada, but it's at the expense of Aspas. And they're still just trapped towards this position. Also, the deep hold that's there from Ye on the other side means they don't need to rotate. And Victor, double headshot. He's now looking to try and ace this out. Could even get the ult online if he manages to find that final man. And while the crowd wants him to go for this, although it seems he might get beaten to the punch. Never mind.
The chance is still on. The ace could be his. It's a 3v1 though. This isn't a moment for bravado. Close the round out any way you can. And it's with Victor on the floor.
The thing is, that's not bad from Pancada. He was in a horrible scenario, ends up taking 3 kills. He's going to get ever closer to having his Orbital Strike online, which is now only 1 away. They're coming in with a purchase on the other side, and okay, sure, you've got the showstopper, but there's not a lot that's actually going to help them out economically.
Very true. Yeah, look, the losses here will definitely be felt, those ripples coming into the next few rounds, and ultimately, you're playing up against weaker weapons, so altogether, yes, they've recovered that nicely in the final seconds. That's why you don't see one guy running down to try get the ace. Unfortunately, sometimes you got to play for the team, play for the win. 1 round between them and Optic. Well, I see Finesse he's gone for a different weapon. It's not quite the rifle. And the Prowler has gone right past him.
Oh, no.
The Judge!
Oh, he might have actually spotted him, and he's not going to get the kill. The Judge giveth and the Judge taketh away. That has gone as badly as it could have. Okay, Aspas is going to be a little low, but they should be able to get him healed up. Unfortunately, Sadak is on the other side of the map, and Crashy's going to go re-aggressive, but he loses the fight as well.
This man, if he stood a pixel or 2 further forward, that Judge would have taken him down. And instead, he's ended up with 2 kills. A fantastic game Aspas is playing here today. Now the advantage for Loud. Let's see how they can close it out, or if Optic have got something up their sleeve. 3-man stacked up on A, hoping the rotation comes through. But Tom, we can see that spike and the rest of the team gravitating towards the B site. Looks like they might have a pretty easy time.
Heal up, squad.
It seems like they've basically committed to either just fighting this on the A side or maybe saving the weapons. The deep push is probably going to tell Optic a little bit late that
30 seconds left.
This is going to be a B play. For Loud, this is such a huge opportunity in this second half. Already looking to get up to 9 rounds, and as I said, I don't expect the Optic players to even rotate here. It's just not worth throwing the weapons away.
Yeah, it really is. Just too much of an investment already taking place. And, you know, Ye is getting decently close to his ulti. If there was a possibility that he could come out of this with a kill, that would be huge, but probably not worth even losing the weapon for. Whether he gets a choice or not is a different thing.
He looks like he disagrees, because he is pushing quite far forward, especially in comparison to the rest of the team. I guess, as you said, 1 kill and a death is actually an upgrade for Ye.
One kill and survive, even better.
True.
If he gets an orb, he can drop his teammate a weapon, and all of a sudden, it's a full buy. You've got a showstopper there, and you've got Ye with a tour de force, which at this point, well, he's either going to have that Vandal, or he's going to have his ult next round. You probably just want him to survive. Make it a little harder so he doesn't have that ulti right off the bat. And we saw there, Aspas, 2 kills. The only 2 kills that came into play before that spike went down. Crashies and Finesse both taken down, and then he's healed to 100 HP and doing exactly what Sideshow was mentioning on the desk. Blast packing out, taking the space, putting his life on the line for his teammates. I mean, the value that he has brought in the first half was tangible. Here, I think it goes even beyond what we see on our screens. I mean, this guy is the tip of the spear.
Yeah, the very different superstars, I guess you would say. Like, Victor is taking up that role on the other side, and then Ye is more just roaming, looking to try and catch you out as you get aggressive. This round, though, he's still going to have the rifle. Now, I assume that Ye's plan will just be to try and find a kill, and damn, this is aggressive from Optic on the other side of the map, pushing all the way through. It almost goes their way, but Loud will be able to stabilize. All 3 players gone. Ye again left on the other side of the map, but a single kill could turn this back.
This game has been neck and neck the whole way. This round could leave Optic with very little. So many of their players low on cash. Now Ye's going to have his ult next round, but he needs this clutch. Problem is, Orbital Strike, Viper's Pit, and a 1v3. Late rotation out of Pancata. He's got the spike. If he goes down here, this could be bad. The damage, though, it's huge. 48 HP left on Ye. Finesse on the B side. He's completely out of this for now. Has to be Ye to try and do something, and he's caught.
Last player standing.
Yeah, Finesse was taking his time to go and get a gun on the other side of the map. Had to make sure that he wasn't just facing into a lurker. Now we saw him get a 4K earlier. This one would be so much more important, but Les doesn't even give him an opportunity. 10 rounds on the board. Bear in mind that it has been a streak of, what, at least 6 wins in a row for Optic on this map. They are now 3 rounds away from a deficit, and I am not surprised that they have taken a pause here.
No, this is definitely a moment to go back to the drawing board. You know, they've tried many different things. Sure, and I think in Ye's position, but he hasn't invested at all, so I'm assuming he's not keeping that ulti. He's going to be popped out here to try bridge the gap. And you've heard it there. They are so dead. Well, if they step into Ye's sight lines, they sure will be. Look at how cautious Loud are being, though. We've seen that in the previous round. 3 players were swinging out on B long, looking for those duels. This time, Pancata's basically in their spawn, jump spotting it. He won't even be caught by the flash.
On the other side of the map, though, Sadak has just walked through showers. So they have the information of where he's going to be. The main spots you're going to have are on the extremities, although he's going chasing all the way down towards their spawn, and then they've got the cheaper weaponry just hiding within the smoke. None of the bullets currently connecting, but they have been spotted, and eventually the spray comes through. Marv still does well to get 1 and a dink onto a second, and while Finesse, he's so close to taking a kill away, but they're just getting wiped out.
Yeah, look at the HP. 2 on Sassy, 29 on Pancata. If these fights go their way, maybe there's even 2 more players alive on Optic right now. They could have the advantage. Instead, it's Ye left to do it all, and with the weapon in his hands, he's not even going to... Okay, not going to take advantage of low HP players, I say. But he's just walked out, taking down 2 to the headhunter. But he's gone. He's dealt with. It was looking possible, and when it's Ye in these spots, it always does. But at the end of the day, Loud push up to 11, and now Optic have their buy round. It's now or never.
How confident have you got to be in your headhunter? That he could have just killed that second guy with the tour de force, but he's like, I'm going to go for the style points. Like,
he did see him get healed, right? But even still, you saw him get healed. No, body shot's not going to take him down. You need the headshot or 2 bodies.
It's just mad.
1 shot, just 1 click. He's like, yep, that is the headshot, and I will now look at the next guy. This is a round Optic need. They have ultis. They've got their economy fully put on the board. If they lose this, Loud guaranteed an OT with 5 chances to close. That just cannot happen.
They could get all 5 ults online for Loud in one of the most crucial rounds. I don't even think I saw a pixel there. Just a slight jump spot is enough for Les to go down. He's been one of the best performers so far for Loud, and finally an opening duel going in their favor, but it's so quickly traded out. On either side of the map, they're able to get a couple of kills, and now Crashy's looking to fight alongside them within hookah.
He's left to 19, pops the Seekers, the panic in full effect. They both control now taken. As you can see, Victor following the Seekers down, and somehow that didn't get him. Luckily, he will follow back through and leave Sadak alone. The 1v3, unlikely. It's being watched by Ye, and even blind, he'll hit that shot. and much needed round for Optic connected. And the game's back on.
That was so scrappy. We saw both sets of Seekers thrown out. We saw a showstopper that, like maybe it did a bit of damage, but genuinely looked like it did 0, which, you know, take that as you will.
That is insane.
Can we slow that down? I want to see what he connects. Like, it's just ridiculous, the shots that he's able to hit, even in the games that aren't necessarily going their way. Still though, Mitch, 4 ults here, a perfect buy up as well for Loud. It's not going to get any easier.
No, it definitely isn't. And we've seen this ult used over on Loud's side previously. Optic will do the same, taking control of Belong, holding it, and looking elsewhere. You would imagine Loud will be trying to grab some control to counter that, right? This is free information, free map control for Optic. But for now, they are pumping the brakes. I'm not sure what this signals on their side. They're expecting a push, perhaps. But with 1:12 left on the clock, we're starting to see the gravitation to B. Hookah control is being conceded completely. It wasn't somewhere Optic really wanted to fight for much on the attack. Makes sense, it's not somewhere they defend all that much either.
Well, the thing is, they've got Ye watching it at distance with an operator. Not going to be an easy kill. He switches to the headhunter, and this time, well, it's not instantaneous. The thing is, they've thrown out that Nightfall, and they got nothing. They just got delayed through Hookah enough that ult basically just found a tag. Okay, sure, it got rid of the Viper's Pit, but that wasn't worth the trade.
And this has allowed Optic to reset completely, even healing Ye up, getting him on an angle. They had an orb up to block any sort of a peek coming out of Hookah, so he was free to hold long the entire time.
30 seconds left.
Looking over at this site, getting onto it doesn't seem difficult. Getting the spike planted will be 20 seconds left on the clock. Orbital strike online for Marv, the nade coming through from Victor. They are denied the control for now, and as they step back in, you can see the ulti in hand. It's going down from above! Marv has taken the kills, and with that, probably the round. They need a plant right now, and it will be denied. 4 seconds as they fall. Crashies closing the round, and Optic are hot on Loud's heels.
That was just fantastic ult usage all the way through the round from Optic. Like, that setup, I don't think you could have got much better. You had the Viper's Pit almost baiting them into pushing into Ye. Man's not going to miss the shot. And then on the other side of things, you were just ready to plant deny. Even if it was earlier in the round, you still bought enough time for that rotation to come all the way back through and have those separate peaks with the denial utility. That was an expert round from Optic, and we are starting to see those ultimates diminish. Like, that was a showstopper and a Nightfall used in that previous round, which ultimately garnered Loud nothing.
And now look what they're working with. Next to nothing on the attack. Victor up top here. He's in a little bit of danger. Nade's going to be deployed. The Prowler hitting him and everything. Marv turning at the wrong moment. That's crucial control removed. A weapon upgrade and a sight in Loud's hands. They've got a Viper's Pit, Tom. They can put this down, and the round all of a sudden starts to look favored towards them. They're healing up as well. But no, this Viper's Pit is not on the site. It's in their spawn. Loud are looking to take the fight to Optic or force them to waterfall out of heaven, which is often to certain death. But for now, no one's watching it.
The thing is, though, is to play from distance is not going to be particularly easy for the remaining players. They can get towards that spike, almost wrapping around the Viper's Pit. So this really could be problematic for Loud, that they might almost have to start playing out of it in a matter of seconds. The Orbital Strike is going to buy them that time. They expected this to happen, but the trades are coming through once again. I think they even have the Seekers one more time as they start to win every single battle. It's left onto Pancada. He has delayed them a little bit. The shot connected eventually, and I think the time is gone. He might have just done it off of that alone. Loud will delay just enough, and Optic just couldn't get on the spike.
What a ludicrous round. That is not one that you will have planned for. You won't have seen that in Prax. I mean, that was madness, pure chaos harnessed by Loud to get onto the site. To find, like, even the distraction play around middle as the duel was coming in, that's when you have the swing coming through. As Pancada takes the fight, takes the control. Gorgeous work. 3 chances now for Loud to close out a map that even the best in the world have failed to do up against Optic.
It's not a death sentence, but it is a statement. To come in, to bind a map that even in the past they haven't been able to beat them on, and look to take the lead in the series that could send them to the grand final. Still, the weaponry, not the best for Loud. It's still a better purchase for Optic just because of the cost of the previous. And 3 rounds in a row for Optic, well, We've seen them do it a million times.
We have. No, it's certainly not over. And with an initial tag, taking Sadik. He's at 14 HP. He can't get healed. No one on this team can help him out. Now he's pure support. One flash to work with. Trailblazer already used. Dedicated spike carrier. That's his role from now on. 50 seconds on the clock. They're looking for B. But look at Optic's setup. I mean, it is gorgeous. They've got a wall. They've got a Sky to flash through that wall. Potential retake coming in from Victor, who still has his nade online. And then we mentioned Ye, who we saw at the start of the round holding this angle. He hasn't moved ever since.
It seems like they're almost waiting for them to make this move. It looks like a trap, and Sadik, he's so desperately low. He's going to go down straight away. The orb sections the remaining players apart, and the spike is down on the site. 20 seconds left. You might even just have to hold on to the weapons, especially now. Pancada on just 3 HP. There's nothing that Loud can do in this round. Again, they've waltzed into the trap that Optic has set, and double digits will be held.
Well, Victor may be a Chad, but he was looking like a beta raise right there. 2 nades thrown in 5 seconds. This guy was just lobbing them out. Nothing Loud can do, diving through a Viper's orb, into a nade, into bullets, into another nade. Round was done before it even got started. A great response from Optic. And they didn't even need Ye. He was an alarm bot, essentially a Cypher cam for that round. And, well, he's been so much more the rest of the time. Now the crowd getting behind Optic, the chance coming through for them to push us to an OT. 2 more rounds, and look at Loud. They're putting it all on the board here. I don't imagine they'll be rotating all the way around, and I'm seeing Blast Pack in. Flash from the Sky, there it is. It's on its way, it's popping. And with the Blast Pack, Aspis is already up close. Now the Molly goes down, the control is theirs, they can grab an orb. But that is the trade that Optic are willing to make. You can have your control and your orb, we'll keep on ranged fights.
Well, that's the thing as well. Optic already have hookah control and deep B long control. So they're not going to be rotating anybody off any of their angles on the A site until it is ultimately pressured, and that's going to be Pancada's job. If he kills Finesse, there's a pretty decent chance that Optic's setup completely falls apart. Instead, though, they're taking their time, just hoping that someone on the other side of things over-aggresses, and at the moment, with this double stack into mid, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, very disciplined play from Optic. They know where their point of contact is. And outside of that, everyone else is spotting their angle, holding for extra information, but ultimately waiting for these guys on mid to get the fight, and it looks like it's coming their way. 40 seconds on the clock. No ultis for Loud, but still a flash to play with here for Sadik. They'll assume there's a player holding this angle, whether they decide to fully commit. There's the flash. Okay, they've seen him up top. He turns! I thought that was on. I thought it was a kill. It was damn close. Still Loud. Get to take a few steps closer. They've lost a player, and then they've recovered. What are those fights for Sadik with a double kill? Optic are now having to play
Oh! It's almost a couple of kills coming through, but they just wipe out the remaining players. A faster play in towards that mid push, and the battle's being won by Sadik.
But we had less. A hero stepping up with 4 fantastic kills. It was the high-speed moment over in the break, and now as barriers go up, we're going to see Loud on the attack. Less playing the Killjoy for now, and the turret clearing out mid. They'll quickly take the space on the back of it, moving up through market. Good kill onto Ye already, and with the control now taken, the utility out of play. It looks like a complete hard retake.
He's a madman. Absolute madman, but the flash is even better. Even still, though, Sadik and Pancada managed to come up big. It's going to be left all on to Crash. It's not pretty on the first, but he still manages to get the kill.
Even dodged the paranoia as well. Here's the steps coming behind him. Isolates one duel, but he can't keep it for too long. 3 kills for Pancada in this as Loud pick up the pistol. Said it's important for Optic to start strong, but it looks like they're going to have a buffer of a few rounds before that's a possibility.
Yeah, and I just like the sheer pace of which Loud are already coming into this map. You can see the strength that they have even just by the stats of them on Ascent. Although, there's at least the silver lining for Optic that they were the one team to beat them.
That is true. That is true. I mean, you look back actually for Optic, I feel like this map, it's not somewhere that I look at and think, well, they're playing this so that they're at a disadvantage immediately. It's just more so Loud are so strong here. But that also means there's a lot of VOD, a lot of tape out there on how they like to play. And you know how difficult rematches can be. We've seen this one happen again and again. over on Loud side. This attack sees quite a bit of space. They're only up against classics. The Headhunter in play as well. The utility through reveals, getting not too much with the door closed. That flash expected, waited for, and shut down completely. Well handled by Loud. They looked in control from the get-go.
Yeah, and Aspas not that far away from getting the knives online as well, which, especially going into the bonus, would be very helpful if he's able to. Even still, though, this is where things should get a little bit more interesting for Optic. They're going to have the rifles, every single player. I think Shield's only missing for Ye. Utility not looking too bad either. The question will be what sort of ideas the Loud have here. Sure, they've got a few rifles coming in themselves, playing that sort of extended bonus round with some extra weaponry, and by the looks of things, they want an early challenge into mid.
You can see the arrow wiggling as Sassy was waiting to swing through and fire it. The reveal clears close. With a smoke down, there could be a player sneaking up inside of it, but I think the reveal was there just as it bloomed, so it should be clear enough on that info. Unfortunately, Sassy then found out there's a player on short the hard way.
Well, they sort of forced back one player in the form of Victor, but Ye stuck around. And after that opener, you can just see how passive this setup becomes from Optic. Put themselves into a solid position. It looks like Aspas is just going to dive into the site again, though. The same as the previous round. This time it's being watched for by Marv. He doesn't connect the initial shot, though.
Paranoia didn't land on him. He's still good to fight. As Sadik goes down, utility on its way to clear Marv out, but Ye is holding strong. Kill after kill going his way, and with finesse landing one through the smoke, that round goes convincingly into Optic's hands. I mean, Marv surviving like he did, dodging the Paranoia and being able to cut off Sadik, stopping any extra utility from making its way to the side, and, well, Ye just had free reign from that point while they were focused on Jenny.
That's the thing I really like with Marv. I feel like he truly is that controller specialist.
Yes.
Like, seeing him on Breach, KO, I've not really had anywhere near the same enjoyment, but you give him the utility to play around, and he truly is that superstar. He truly is the person you even put in the conversation with Ye.
You know, I mentioned that last time these guys played over on Pearl, when I was doing the Telestrator, I said that it was Ye was 1-0 in opening duels. Marv was 6-1.
Yeah.
And it's so often that Ye will be there trying to get the early duel, falling back, and then Marv plays these nasty angles, able to capitalize off the gaps in spacing. Right here, you see that face to Ye, the aggressive early duel. It works out, and he doesn't even need his TP to get out of there, sitting comfortably with a man advantage now on Optic.
Yeah, the thing is, that's their lurk down as well. Les is normally looking to try and hold on to one half of the map while they pressure elsewhere. This means that Loud have to be a lot more careful of all of these aggressive positions that could have been taken, and a lot of the time are taken by players like Ye. Falling back into what looks like an A setup, and in fact, there's still 3 players within B, so maybe a slight misread here. Victor, I don't know if his spot was actually checked whatsoever, and they're still holding on to this short completely.
They definitely noticed Victor when the drone came around. They've caught Marv, though, taking down the first man that they saw. The spams coming back find nothing as the plant comes in. Loud regained the advantage, and with the ult online, Sadik is going to stop any heavy utility retakes. It could mean that Optic run the clock down a bit more and wait for it to be gone, but then they'll have such limited time on that clock to get in. They really need to force some fights without the utility, and, well, dry swinging into the angles isn't always the best approach, with kill after kill going Loud's way. They're still going for it. They're still
Victor!
pushing through, and Victor's got 2. Pancata stuck below. A good kill, but he needs to survive. Up close now, Crashies could get him, but the TP, he's got into wine. He's buying time, and he won't cancel. Instead, he'll use this position to deny the defuse. Shoulder peeking and hitting the shot. The round is saved by Pancata with a Red Bull clutch. 3 rounds for Loud.
Oh, there were 2 shock darts, I believe, on Crashies. You just,
There were.
If he fires one of those in, he basically wins the round, probably not realizing how low Pancata was on the other side. This from Victor, though, was just absurd. And I think he actually dinks up the final player as well, almost solo retaking versus the entirety of Loud. The problem now is what's left on the other side. Weaponry in the bin. Okay, 1 off the tour de force for Ye could be a game changer. The fact is, what orb do they challenge for if they challenge for 1 at all?
Well, it certainly looks like B main is under the control of Loud. They're not going to be giving anything away. And Ye, sitting passively on the A side, will just be headhunting this round. Again, if he goes...
He's done so much damage! 2 shock darts back to back, and the entirety of the team, bar Pancata, is actually tagged. Also with delay utility as well, going through this would have its risks, especially now there's 4 players here and a 5th rotating in.
Oh, this is a bad read. Louder walking right into the trap. They find the first. The spam is good, and the follow-up there. The weaker weapons really a saving grace for the attacker side. Not up against the heavy weaponry they could have been. Some kills still coming back for Optic, the round yet to be decided. And it's Marv sitting on the site, Spectre in hand. They know about Victor. He's an accounted for property. Marv might be able to catch them by surprise, but he's being spotted, and with that, the round seems to be over. 18 health left as he swings into heavy traffic. It will be Brazil taking an extra round, and the lead becoming more and more exaggerated. Optic have got to start sweating at this point.
As said, like, when it comes to the defensive side for Loud, they're phenomenal. So going in with a deficit would just be an absolute 1 on that Omen. He's been incredible, as said, throughout this tournament. One of the best controllers we have in the world scene. Some early information going to be taken. Ye is just walking it. We spoke about this man. The desk said that he can't put everything on his shoulders, but in this round, it looks like he's trying.
He's only died once so far, Pancada. This could be the second. The jump spot shallow each time. If he goes out that little bit wider, there's no telling whether Ye hits the shot or not. In fact, I'd say he probably does, knowing that it's Ye. And that's why they're being so cautious, so careful about giving away these advantages. Smokes haven't yet been thrown out and bloomed on mid. They're waiting for a late round take. There's the smoke. There's the peek. And now they'll try to punish from the connector, but he's already made it away.
Interesting spot. They're actually holding deep towards A in case there's any level of aggression. But it's a very, very passive hold. Other than Ye pushing and probing, everybody else is sat back on the map. This position, though, from Les might actually catch him off guard as the rest look to pressure in towards A.
This could be huge. Again, Victor in position, but he's not going to be able to pop a flash out of the smokes this time. Fully suppressed. Here we go, though. As it resets, he can potentially try to reinitiate some of these fights. They've caught Ye on the lurk through. We saw Les get caught by him and be made previously. Now, victory is his, and it could be Loud's as well, as every single kill seems to go their way. Only losing Sadik, and for the control they got, that is worthwhile. Crashies alone, credits in the bin. 4.2k on Ye, nobody else can afford to buy. You wouldn't blame him if he saved, but even then, what are you saving for? And the economy for Loud's going to get out of control.
Yeah, I just bringing something into the next round, I guess. A hero rifle. Again, though, just so impressive from Loud on those takes. The fact is, initially they get hit, I think by the KO knife, 4 of the players as they look to try an entry in. Yep. They're a little bit patient as they look to make their move. And then you just see, as the utility comes back online, the spams take Victor almost all the way down. And even then, the flashes that come through on the other side just leave him completely blinded. Clearing out that site looked way too easy. And okay, Les has gone down right at the end, but as you mentioned, financially it's meaningless, and they're going to go running to try and take this gun away.
You can't understate the importance of taking down Ye in those early rounds. Crashy's not surviving this. Wrecks their economy completely. I mean, they had a potential hero rifle to be saved. Instead, well, you can see potentially Ye. Okay, he's going in for the open light shields. So that's going to be the hero of the round. That needs to be something that pulls them through. But I can't agree with you anymore, Tom. That push that came through on the A side, it just looked too easy. When you've got the numbers there, when, again, you're able to pop your flashes and so on, but it seems like Loud are expecting that. They know, okay, KO was there, smoke is there, now he's able to flash. Let's just spam around the smoke. Oh, look, he's basically dead already. A frustrating round if you're Optic, though, because it feels like they set up for their plan and then never got to actually execute it.
Again, a patient default. Les, well, his impact of taking down Ye in the previous round can't be understated, almost seeming to have a hard read on what he was wanting to do, and almost forces Optic to play slightly more passively until they've actually cleared this man out of position. In the early round, you're going to have this double spot towards short, like basically the anti-flash being played by Victor and the angle being held by Ye. They've got the right read on where this is going. It's whether they can stop them.
This could be so dangerous. It's not the first man or the second. It's the operator of Ye that I'm worried about. He's blinded up, though. A fantastic paranoia. Crashies could be a hero here to step in and do some damage, but only the one. The Sheriff, not the gun that you want. And the lead extends even further in the Brazilians' favor as Loud are now 6-1 in the league. Guaranteed, worst case scenario, an equal half, and knowing how strong they are on the defense with this being their map pick and having taken a title off of Optic for Bind. I mean, the last time that Optic lost, and I mean let me say the last time the players on Optic lost, because they weren't even Optic at the time, it was last year at Champs up against Ascend. Like, they don't lose that map, and when they do, it's to the best teams in the world. Like, for Loud to have that already and now such a strong lead, I mean, we need to see Optic put rounds on the board now.
Yeah, Operator and BA again. They've been able to counter him in most rounds so far. The utility out, especially from Sadak, the flashes that we're seeing combined with Pancada's paranoia. And Marv now looking to get a little bit aggressive as well. They haven't seen anything, but instead the pressure has been going in onto mid. Shock Dart, again, like Crashies has been at least chipping away at a couple of these players, and he's really caught Sadak. The spam through the wall will get them the opener. The question is, can they convert it? And they need to.
That is such a unique early duel. I mean, especially with the shock darts, they seem magnetized to his feet, just landing perfectly on him. Sadak did not have a nice time. And, you know, Aspis is stood here, of course, rightfully so, waiting for a repeat, waiting for something else, and it never comes through. They've pressured A again and again. Optic stay heavy on A, heavy on Wine. They even take Sassy down there, but the objective of this round is to take the B site. The thing is, with limited numbers now, they cannot afford to even end up in trades moving onto the site. They need to be convincing in these duels, and they've been slowed down completely, pushed out of mid. There's only 25 seconds left.
Yeah, they're trying to bait it, but this rotation back is going to be impossible. You've got Marved already playing deep. They're going to have to try and switch this up again. They look like they've got a little bit lost in those rotations. Not the prettiest of fights for less either, and now the remaining two. I don't even know if they have time to get to the site. They definitely don't now. For absolutely nothing for Optic to a Prime Gaming flawless just moments later. They have at least taken their second round, but Mitch, they need so much more.
They really do. That was a fantastic attempt by Loud, by the way. So you have this attempted push and almost fake on the A side. They move to B, they look to go, but then there's so much meeting them on the B side that they have two players run back down on mid. That was Pancada and Aspis. They rushed mid, they run up short, they're stampeding. They're letting them know, we're coming back, we're faking it again. And then that's when they try to take the space with less, walking through the smoke to catch them on rotations. The panic on A of, oh, they're coming back, I need help. Everyone moves out of position, Les gets in with a great flank. Unfortunately, that reality isn't the one we live in. They've just been shut down. But fortunately, if you're a North American fan, because that was a round Optic needed, they would have been out of cash completely, and Loud would have ran away with this half. Instead, it's still up for grabs, at least to equalize.
Look, they're using the Killjoy ult just to get rid of that Hunter's Fury. In the meantime, they're looking to pressure on the other side, and Aspas actually gets away with that. Now you have the Hunter's Fury to try and take him down. Marv has nowhere to go. It's a double early opener, but at least there is a trade, a little bit more searched for by Ye. And actually, he's going to get a second. Pancada forced out into the open, brings it back into a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just tanked it. It was only a Nightfall coming, but instead ends up going down, trying to evade it, save some extra info. Great lurk again from Les. This guy has been unaccounted for in a number of rounds, and the value found almost every time. Finesse trying to break the door, almost meets his demise. That fight could be everything, and with Finesse down, Ye on 10 HP, this is done. He knows it. He'll pick up the op and run for the hills. Loud may let him save it. A little consolation for the half, now guaranteed to be a loss. 7 rounds on the board for Loud, and a frankly ridiculous start to this map.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Optic are looking out. Like, they're looking like they're going to that lower bracket already. After losing the first map and just the way that Loud have come into this, the opening duels. And I feel like as well, a lot of the times, even in the last map, where we would see that sort of 3v5, like a couple of rounds go the way of Optic from being down a man, this time Loud looks so much more stabilized. Les has been an absolute demon at just catching them on lurks in every single round. Like, we saw him have a fantastic map on Viper. I think he's even better when it comes to the Killjoy. And then, as said, just the amount of assists that is currently just really stacking up for both Sadak and Pancada when it comes to just taking that space, leaving players in the most awkward of fights, that even Ye, just something to not allow them all of that control for free.
We had Pancada start this map out incredibly hot. Now Sadak really stepping it up, but for me, Les is the most important player so far, purely because he is consistently changing Optic's game plan. He is a thorn in the side anytime they try to set up. Look at even the last round, 3 players heaven. Yeah, you have to. You have to. And this is the thing. Some of the other fights you lose, you're like, I lost that duel, that sucks. For less, it's like you are thinking constantly, where is this guy? What is he doing? Is he behind me? Is he going to push the smoke? Is he... That is so irritating. And if you can get in your opponent's head like that and make them adapt to you, you're already winning. A lot of the time, at least. 2 hostiles detected up close. 1 on the A side a little further back. This has prompted the ult out of them, the panic ult almost.
They popped it just before. It will force almost a reset, and actually still just leaving one-man post on the other side. The thing is, though, Loud have been very happy to play into the lane. Wait patiently. And now they're going to start splitting back. There's only one man on this side. Nobody in position to help out Ye. Is this the round he takes over? It's not looking likely. He's completely surrounded and has to fall back to the side.
Crashies was jump spotting, left it open as they walked on through. Ye is gone, despite that trade back that they had just moments ago. The round seems to be going into Loud's favor, and again it's less! A quick double seems to secure it. Marv, the last man standing, 1v3, low HP on Sadik, but that's about where the benefits end. Has a Cosmic Divide we don't expect to see used in time. Well, it's the least of his concerns with those numbers against him and a smoke that he'd have to walk through.
Well, of the players left in the tournament coming into today, he did have the highest clutch percentage, but to try anything here would be to risk the rifle. And honestly, at this stage, I wouldn't mind it so much. Of course, I don't expect him to necessarily win it, but they need something. This team needs a hero to almost just bring them back from the brink, because at the moment, well, this is probably the most shut down Ye's been the entire tournament, probably.
It's the most shut down I've seen Optic be, I think, just period. I mean, Loud are playing an absolutely incredible game. As we said, you know, sometimes you get these upset games and you're like, I kind of feel, oh, that was close. I kind of feel like the favorite team like messed up. They didn't play their best game, like all this sort of stuff. And sometimes that's true, but you cannot take anything away from Loud. They are playing such a clean game. It was tangible from the first half on Bind. And it got even better as we watched this team warm up into the series, whereas Optic, they seem to be ice cold right now, not in a good way.
8-2. The buy from Optic, not the best, but they need to still be going for purchases at this point.
Hey, look, the little crouch. He got spotted by the recon, so he just pops a little squat there, like, hey guys, I'm over here, what you gonna do? They've left the A side completely.
Yeah, there are 4 players currently outside of it. They're looking to try and pressure into mid. It's something I mentioned just a round or so ago, that this has been somewhere that has been taken for free, and Loud have adapted. Just patiently waiting. I guess as well, with no aggression from Ye, which has been a staple of this A site, there's at least less information. Well, Crashy's just trying to hold on to that cross. I imagine he's just going to try and catch somebody as they go past the door. But with spotting absolutely no one, the knife not even going to connect onto anything, this is probably going to be quite confusing on the other side.
He doesn't get this again. They've destroyed the turret. They know he should be close by. He's in the corner. Damage done, but no kills. Optic coming ahead now, 5 versus 3. They've lost the site. They may well concede a plant as well. The retake is set up to be in their favor. They've got a Cosmic Divide as well, and that basically forces Loud to play on site.
Ready. Looking to make their move back through. The Horn only going to give them a little bit of information, but this is looking much better from Optic. Sassy, 1 versus 5. Maybe to put the final nail in the coffin. He's looking for the lineup, and while body blocked and taken out by Marv. A much better round from them. A complete, almost takedown of everything that was being attempted on the other side. And I like the idea, especially from Crashies, just basically, my job is get 1 kill on the cross. And that's exactly what he did. Another Prime Gaming flawless, by the way. 2 of the rounds that they've won have been flawless, but every time, Loud swung back instantly.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, to be honest, the adaptation alone is just a great face. Get rid of Les, send a player with Ye, make sure he's gone. You keep Ye alive in the late round, fantastic. But if Les comes up behind you at any point, and you know he will, and this is the thing. So I said Les has been forcing them to change. He's been getting in their heads in that sense. Well, now he's been shut down on that. And he's going to have to change his position a little bit. Could have off-put the pace of the round. Last one of the half. And Loud
again. the 3-man stack into mid. The exact same thing out, and by the looks of it, they're looking to pick up the pace. Now the difference is because they've thrown in that null command, I don't think he can do the same recon. So that just means that they're going to have this site almost for free, and Crashy's desperately hoping to try and find someone around the edge of the door, but he won't.
Okay, this could be a problem still, the Cosmic Divide. So you know these players are going to remain on site. Less, not again! He's changed it up again and again! Ye is shut down, he's not given a chance to play the round! Loud have the advantage, and they played on site. This Cosmic Divide doesn't lock them out nearly as much as Optic would hope it does. Instead, they're willing to fight, losing the duels. 2 versus 3. Only the men underneath now remain, with Pancada finding one, and Sassy tripling up in the round! We will end up at 9-3. Loud have put on one of the best performances on this attack side that I've seen from them. This is scary if you're a North American fan.
Yeah, as I said, I want to reiterate, over the last 3 times they played this, they are 21-3 in terms of their defensive rounds. They go in with one of the best attacking...
From the desk, like, this is the half we expect Loud to put up the most numbers. That's not possible. They're going to put up 4 and it's done. And
unless we go to mega OTs.
Crowd is behind Optic, that's for sure. We need this pistol to go their way. Loud have won 2 out of 3 of them, with big individual performances stepping it up. Not even a game plan that took it across the line. For Optic, they're taking it slowly. You know, you can feel how much this round means to them. This is not one that they go into and look for some loose kills. They need to take every advantage they can possibly get here. Going into a stack.
3 players and a 4th looking to hold on to the cross. Victor, he's having trouble just breaking the turret. Timmy surviving far longer than he should, and he gets hit by a shock dart. Aspas already demolishing 2 members. It is a shambles on the way through, but Marv might have just rectified it. The ping up is going to give some information, but the trades are so good on the side of Loud. They're low though. There's a chance. Pancada, if he goes down, it could be a problem. But Aspas, 4 kills in the pistol round, double digits for Loud. And while they are moments away from getting themselves into the grand final again.
It certainly seems that way. A tale as old as time between these 2 teams. That rivalry not going to end in in North America's favor for now, it seems. Another pistol that follows the same pattern. We had a 4K, a 3K, a 4K, individuals on Loud, stepping it up. You can see Optic in a moment, they get a little bit tunnel visioned into finding those kills, expecting this is the last guy on the site, but then there's 2 more. They ran into the stack and realized it too late, and now they're left to classics. This should be 11 rounds for Loud, and then a basically flawless half if Optic are to have any chance in this series.
I feel like there's very few believers at this point. The
crowd seems to.
The crowd will them on. I'll say that. Okay, well, Ye's managed to win a battle. Sadak's probably going to want that one deleted from the VOD, but it doesn't matter. His teammates are there. As said, we've got so many strong performers on this squad. And now it's on to Finesse. He's even getting spammed up. Would need some classic magic, and it isn't happening. Still a decent round,
sure.
But in the context of things, I don't know how much difference it will make.
Yeah, it's a silver lining at best, but you got to capitalize on it. And so far, Optic have struggled to get anything on the board. We have rounds where Ye's pulling up 2 kills with an op, and then they still just get rolled over coming into site pushes. Victor had that fantastic 2K, and since then, yep.
Oh no.
It's been shaky. And I don't know what's leading to it, but Loud are playing some of the best Valorant I've seen out of this region, out of this team.
They're pushing both extremities.
Of anyone.
They've got so much control already, and with the weaker weapons, this is just the perfect positioning for them to be in. They're not going to be able to take any of that control, and instead, mid, it's going to be 4. It's not gone well for Marv. That's going to be a rifle into the hands of his opponents, and they only came into this with mostly stingers.
Oh, and Aspas even shuts down Ye. Another rifle to be retrieved. Control and a trap gone, which means no information for Optic anymore. There are 3 players stacked up on A, and they basically need to commit to it. Crashies is kept out for a moment, but okay, they've got Sadik. Now they can look towards the site. You've got an Omen here. They know that. The paranoia already put out, and so he's the last man standing on the site. As he goes down, it's a 2v2, but look at Crashies. My man has got 1 health left. Victor He had a 2K earlier on. He had 2 more kills since. We need to see this as a round where he delivers, because I don't think Crashies is going to have it in him to win these duels. Luckily, there's no damage dealing utility, so they will have to do it with the bullets.
Timmy disagrees. 1 bullet from the turret could be enough. It means there can't really be a swing, and they're just looking to try and play off of each other. Victor almost just going to hide in the corner, trying to use Crashies as bait, so they won't check it the second time. And he is still just lurking around this angle. Does Aspas actually go back in for this peek? He does, but he loses the fight. And they know roughly where Les is going to be. He's just sticking this defusal, looking to try and get it all the way. And he lets go and lands the headshot. This man has been unstoppable this series. And 12 and 9 match points go the way of Loud.
This is looking over. It was already there, but this round, the insult to injury, the stick that comes through, and then he just pulls off it after a whiffed swing from Victor. Great kill onto Aspas, but look at this. 2 bullets fired. He didn't commit. And then he swings back out into the bullets, into the pre-fire. 9 chances to close this out. Loud have kept this energy up from step 1, and this guy's got an Odin in his hand. Sassy, I love you, man. Scary thing to play up against, that's for sure. And a judge for Sadik. Of course, yeah. No, naturally.
Finesse. Taking a little bit of early space. Aspas, the thing is, he's been hit, but it might give the bait that there's not a second player there, and they're almost being funneled towards this judge. It does seem like Optic are going to lose this game, but you don't want to lose it to that gun.
Not like this. Okay, Victor's making a good call. Well, maybe not. I mean, there is an op here, and the bullets ringing out from Les. They're a distraction. They were to hide the fact that Aspas was here. He will tank that KO knife. Nowhere to go. No utility to get him out.
They all got hit by the knife on the other side, so they know that basically the entirety of Optic are in mid. They have 40 seconds to play with. Aspas, he lights them up! A collapse that has probably put Optic to bed here. Crashies even taken to half HP, and it's left onto him to try and clutch this out. But Aspas has had enough. A knife needed to be connected, but instead it's less to put them down. Loud dominate Optic to make their way through to the final, and we already know we're heading to Brazil at the beginning of next year. Loud want to take a trophy there.
They want to go with the crown into the next year. What a